What happens if your car insurance lapses for just a single day? Well, I'll tell you, that tiny gap can trigger massive DMV penalties and a drastic spike in your future rates. So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're decoding the exact steps to flawlessly cancel your Progressive policy without falling into any of those traps. Let's dive right in.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the preparation phase, walk through the actual cancellation process, break down how refunds work, tackle the snapshot program and some hidden pitfalls, and wrap up with a final checklist.
Okay, phase 1, crucial preparation. Let's get things set up.
Look, to completely mistake-proof this entire process, step 1 is an absolute non-negotiable. You have to secure your new active policy first. You want to make sure the start date of your new insurance matches the exact cancellation date of your Progressive policy. No gaps, right? Step 2, cancel your auto pay directly through your bank or the Progressive app. This stops those annoying surprise billing overlaps where both companies try to charge you in the same month. And step 3, just gather all your policy info. Have your account number, your exact end date, and any recent mail ready to go.
Behind the scenes, when you officially cancel, this is the kind of documentation involved. You're looking at an official ACORD cancellation request and policy release form. Now, you might not fill this exact physical document out yourself if you just call customer service, but this is the standard industry template that legally releases the insurance company from liability. It needs your policy number, the specific date, and a signature. It just goes to show how exact this process needs to be.
All right, moving on to phase 2, the actual cancellation process.
You actually have a few options here. You can cancel by mail, email, or by visiting an agent in person. But let me save you some serious time. Calling customer service at 1-866-416-2003 is by far the fastest and most secure route. Plus, it lets you confirm your cancellation date and ask about your refund right there on the spot. Now, when you call, you might get a lengthy sales pitch to stay. If you want to bypass all that, just use this exact script. I'm sorry, I made my final decision and lined up a replacement policy. It's polite, it's firm, and it instantly tells the agent that your mind is made up and you've already legally insured your car somewhere else. Works like a charm.
Next up is phase 3, understanding fees and refunds. This is definitely where things can get a little confusing.
Let's talk about the cancellation fee. In a lot of states, Progressive is going to charge a flat $50 early cancellation fee. But here's the catch. This usually only happens if you terminate the policy during its very first term, meaning before it's naturally renewed for the first time. If you've been a customer for years, this fee often just disappears. But if you're a new customer bailing early, definitely factor that $50 into your budget.
So how do you actually get your money back? Well, it comes down to two totally different calculation methods. A pro rata refund is super straightforward and fair. Progressive takes your premium, divides it up to find a daily rate, and refunds you exactly for the days you didn't use. Easy, right? But some states allow what's called a short rate refund. This means the company calculates that daily rate, but then they tack on an administrative penalty percentage just because you broke the contract early. It can really shrink your refund. So always make sure to ask the rep on the phone which method applies to your state.
Okay, let's jump into phase 4, snapshot devices and common hurdles.
The first big hurdle is something called CSDD, which stands for Customer Selected Due Date. This happens when your monthly billing date and your actual coverage dates don't perfectly line up. For example, say your coverage renews on the 14th, but you ask to pay your bill on the 20th. If you cancel on the 18th, right before your bill is due, you actually still legally owe them for those 4 days of active coverage. People think it's a surprise fee, but really you're just paying for the days you already used.
Here is another massive trap to watch out for. Did you recently make a mid-term policy change, like adding a new driver or a second car right before your billing cycle? That extra premium often gets deferred to your next bill. If you cancel before that bill is generated, all those unpaid premium increases will suddenly drop as a lump sum on your final cancellation balance.
Now, what if you're in Progressive Snapshot program, the one that tracks your driving? There are some really strict rules if you cancel. Check out this 45-day window. If you opt out of Snapshot within the first 45 days, you just lose the participation discount. No big deal. But if you opt out after 45 days, Progressive slaps you with a late opt-out surcharge penalty. And honestly, no matter when you cancel the policy, the absolute most important rule is that you must physically return the device Because if you forget to return that little snapshot plug-in device in good working condition using their prepaid label, they will hit you with a non-return fee of $30 to $50. You usually only have a really tight window of 10 to 30 days to get it in the mail, so whatever you do not let that thing sit in your glove box or you're going to be paying for it.
We made it to Phase 5, the final checklist, and a quick disclaimer.
The second you hang up that phone, you've got 3 final jobs. Number 1, demand a confirmation number from the agent and keep an eye out for the confirmation email or letter. Number 2, monitor your bank account or credit card. Your prorated refund should hit within 7 to 15 business days. And number 3, keep all your records. If an error pops up later, that documentation is literally your only defense.
And here is a totally crucial final step that so many people forget. Canceling your insurance with Progressive doesn't actually end your legal obligations. Depending on where you live, you have to notify your DMV. And if you have a car loan, you've got to notify your auto lender. You need to show them the declarations page of your new policy to prove you have continuous coverage. If you skip this, the DMV could suspend your registration or your lender might buy insanely expensive force-placed insurance on your behalf. You definitely don't want that.
Okay, a super quick disclaimer before we wrap up. The info we've covered in this explainer is based on current data. But remember, insurance is highly regulated and the rules vary wildly from state to state. So always verify your exact terms, your unique state laws, and your refund calculations directly with Progressive or a professional advisor. So you did it! You successfully navigated the maze. You cleanly canceled the policy, avoided a lapse in coverage, mailed back the snapshot device, and secured your refund. But it leaves us with kind of a provocative final thought, doesn't it? You've just escaped the hidden fees and strict timelines of your old policy, but are you absolutely certain your new insurance contract doesn't have those exact same traps waiting for you? It might just be time to pull out that new contract and read the fine print with your newly acquired expert lens. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy navigating.